Ooh. Hi guys, sincerely Sarah Ford with Team Warming Up with the Believers. I am a superstar director with Scentsy Fragrance Company. And today is a special day because yesterday was my 9th Scentssiversary. Woo! And I am super thrilled that today we have the GOAT, Melissa Gratz, here to share with us her story and her experience with Scentsy and how it has really motivated and changed her and how she's kind of worked her business to make it amazing. So welcome, Melissa. Thank you so much for coming and for doing
Thank
this
you for
interview with me.
Well, thank you for having me. Happy Scentssiversary.
Thank
9 years.
you.
9 years in direct selling is like there's got to be like a dog years formula for that. Like if you've been in 9 years, you may as well are a lifer. Like
I agree. I told my husband yesterday, I was like, I don't know. I've never done anything for 9 years. Like,
right. And the time just kind of flies. Like
it really does.
Yeah, it's great. That means we're having a good time.
That's right.
That means we're having
lots
fun.
of exciting things. So I guess what I really want to start with is kind of the beginning. How did you start this? How long have you been doing it? And what has that kind of looked like for you? I guess what was your original reason that you started?
So, okay. So first of all, thank you for having me. I am honored to be here. You are, birds of a feather flock together, right? And personalities are magnetized to each other. And so you and I have that. So I appreciate you having me.
Well, thank you.
Scentsy did not start out as anything other than an outlet. I was looking for my purpose, but I didn't know I was looking for my purpose, and I didn't know Scentsy was going to fulfill it. I was working 2 jobs at the time. I had my full-time career, 40 to 50 hours a week. Plus I had picked up a night shift at Bath and Body Works, making like $6.25 an hour at night, changing their floor set around. And I didn't want to be out of the house that much, but we needed money. And so when I stumbled upon Scentsy, actually my sister introduced me to it, and she had done direct sales before. And she was like, no, you take this one. That Scentsy's all you. I'm going to sit this one out. Well, a year later, she ended up joining because the joke was on her that I ended up making something out of it and starting to travel with her friends that introduced her to Scentsy. And that's when she was like, I will never miss that boat again. And she joined. So in the beginning, I knew I had bought a business, but I didn't know what that meant. Yeah. And the way that I learned the scents in the beginning was my friends and I turned it into a drinking game. And, we used to get together on Fridays and Saturday nights and have a barbecue in my driveway, and they would blindfold me and put the scent testers under my nose. And if I got the scent right, they had to drink. And if I got it wrong, I had to drink. Oh my gosh. And that's how I learned the scents and about the products in the beginning. I didn't expect to do this longer than 6 months. Nobody does in direct sales. At least that was my mindset. You get in, you make some money, you sell to people, you hit a brick wall, you leave. And that's that was my perception of what direct sales was. I had never attended a home party. I'd never hosted a home party. I didn't look like your party plan girl. I wasn't, scripted and all cutesy and put together. Like, I was just me. Yeah. And what I found was that being me is why I started to thrive. Because there wasn't an expectation that I needed to be something else. And there wasn't an expectation that I needed to fit into a mold. Right. And so when I found that I could get my feet wet and get my foothold being me, that had staying power. And then I felt a member of a community where I was accepted. And I don't mean accepted for any other reason than we as women strive to feel acceptance. We love feeling like we're a part of something. Absolutely. And because it's our nature as women to put ourselves last, because we put everything and everybody else in front of ourselves, it feels good when something fills our cup. And that's what started to happen with me with Scentsy. The momentum of me giving energy to something that started to fill me. I was getting recognition. I hadn't gotten recognition since I played sports in high school, you know, or, you know, in college, I was super involved. I cared more about my extracurriculars, and I don't mean partying and drinking, surprisingly, but I cared more about my extracurriculars, my leadership roles that I had taken on at the university, more than my studies. And I will tell you that that is what has made me successful today.
Mhm.
This is not telling anybody not to go to college and to not
Right.
apply themselves in their studies, but you know, we each have our calling, and when we find what that calling is, shame on us if we don't pour into that.
Absolutely.
And so I was lost after college because I've always been super involved. I had tried, I joined a bowling league. I became the treasurer of the bowling league. I had joined my condo association board. I was the youngest member by 46 years. It was not a fit for me. And when I found Sensi, I felt like I had finally found my sorority after college.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't let that scare you off either.
Oh, yeah.
Sororities, even though they have a stigma, are a really great thing. They're a really great thing. And so the sisterhood and the camaraderie and the support and the empowering, I mean, in order to inspire, you have to be inspired. And so I found that here.
Yes.
So 13 years later, here I
Mhm.
am.
Mhm.
And again, in direct sales dog years, that's a lifetime. And I don't plan on going anywhere. I found my home.
Mhm.
It is because of the product. We stand behind our product. We love our product. I still get excited when I change my wax and my warmers, but it's the people in the community that keep me here.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
I
you do
love
have
it.
amazing products. You know, I don't just
We
have a
do.
display of them because I want to have extra stuff sitting around. It's because they're beautiful. I just changed out
They
my
are.
diffuser shade and my warmer, and I just put some different stuff inside of my succulent warmer because I wanted it to be more fall. So it's really amazing. So
It is, I agree.
when you started, were you and Autumn married?
No,
Had you met?
no, we were together,
Okay.
but we had not, because of legality, we weren't married yet, but
Right. Yeah.
no kids.
So was that something that she totally supported you on? Was it something that she did with you? How did that kind of form?
So when I started Sensi, she was on the path to finding her career. So
Mhm.
she's in the medical field. And as we know, you don't just jump into that, right? That's a long path. And she was doing that. And I had a small sense of worthiness, like small sense of what is my worth, because I
Mhm.
knew she was going to be pursuing something that she had worked toward.
Yeah.
And she's always supported me. We do this business together. Is it difficult at sometimes? Yeah, because her job is during the day, and a lot of times mine requires time away at night.
Mhm.
You know, we do leadership training and conference calls in the evenings, and you know, with the you know, blessing and a curse with this industry, let's be completely transparent. There isn't a shut off
Right.
unless you shut it off.
Mhm.
And so, I mean, you could respond to customers and team members all hours of the night,
Mhm.
but you have to respect yourself enough to set some boundaries and some office hours, and treat it like a job that you don't have to be married to 24/7.
Yeah, because if you do,
That I
you
think,
get burnt out.
yeah. And burnout is a really big, real big, scary thing, but
Mhm.
not just in what we do, in life, right?
Another thing. Yeah.
In life. But no, we do Sensi together. She is supportive. You know, if she does have to do bath time with the kids 3 nights in a row because I have conference calls, I might get a little side eye. Might get a little side eye, but you know, we have that open communication and that understanding that though we both are pursuing our dreams, we have to compromise and sacrifice a little bit too. So
Right.
yeah.
So after you got married and then you had the babies, how did that change your business and how you had to fluctuate your schedule or your ability to, like you said, sometimes things happen all the time. And so
Mhm.
how did you manage that with your
Mm.
business? That's a deeper
I think
question.
I think I'm still trying to manage. I mean, last night I was doing a training call and my son walked right into it. And he was like, I got to have kisses, mama. And I was like, well, I'm going to stop what I'm doing. I'm going to give you your kisses. Like
Mhm.
I'm still trying to navigate it, time management. I wish I could say it was a strong suit. I wish that I could say I could shut off my mind. I can't. Um, I said in the beginning when we first started having kids, so we have a 6-year-old and a 2-year-old, almost 7 and 3. And I had said I was jealous of my friends that started their business with small kids
Mhm.
because they had understood, they had learned by now how to navigate that.
Mhm.
And I started my business and it was 6 years old before I had my first child. So, what my business, what I did and what my business looked like and my ability to travel and my flexibility was completely different before children.
Mhm.
And now what does it do? It makes us have to budget our time a little better. You have to have that recognition of, okay, I still need time for myself. So if that means I got to get up a little bit earlier so I can get my mind clear before the craziness starts, then that's what that means. But there's family time, there's work time, there's team time, there's self-care time. And, a lot of trial and error, and trying to figure out what habits stick. Well, listen, we're all works in progress. No, none of us have the magic formula all filled out. If
Mhm.
we did, we wouldn't have people like Mel Robbins still trying to, set us up with a miracle morning. And I
Yeah.
know she's not miracle morning. She's 5 4 3 2 1, but
Same
you know
difference.
what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if we all had it nailed, we wouldn't need people to help us get
Yeah,
there.
absolutely.
And so,
Well,
yeah,
that's, I think that's definitely, I had tons of time. Well, I mean, I was working full time, but I had a lot of time, and then I had my son, and I just adjusted.
yeah,
You just change, you set sail and you just change the way that you're going, and you
yeah,
look around it. And now he's at school for 10 hours a week, and I have some ability to get things done. And it's hard to say, like, okay, I'm gonna go work when I have a sink full of dishes, but that's just life. And I don't care if I have dishes in my sink, that doesn't bother me at all. So
yeah,
so you just work around it. And as I think, and maybe you can speak to this, but I think as you get a larger group and a larger team, you start to decide, where am I the most valuable? And is it better for me to, get a little bit of help with this or that, because I'm more available, or I'm I don't know what I'm trying to say, but my money is better spent working
sure.
than it is doing dishes. So I gotta put that, in different
But
places.
but that's hard. And
Mhm.
I think, um, being a work from home mom is difficult.
Mhm.
There's, when you work outside of the home, there's the dreams of being a work from home mom. And I think through COVID, a lot of people that worked outside of the home have gotten to see what it's like to work from home.
Mhm.
It is a different beast because on your way to the coffee pot, you pass not a coworker, but the dishes in the sink.
Mhm.
And it's very difficult to have that tunnel vision of, I can't spend my time right now cleaning the house
Mhm.
because it's work hours. And
Yeah.
that's hard. And I still haven't adjusted to it. I've been working from home since February of 2019. So even pre COVID,
Mhm.
I've been working from home solely Scentsy. And I've tweaked my schedule enough to know that Mondays, that's when my kids go off to daycare and school. Autumn's back at work. I need that recovery day after the weekend to get the house in order, because the weekends, I'm either working Scentsy events or I'm spending time with my family.
Mhm.
I really try not to work on the weekends because my kids are out of the house 5 days a week. So I don't want to spend time on the weekends doing house things when I'm spending time with them. So I have given myself the grace that Mondays are a recovery day. So it's anything that needs to be tidied up, anything that needs to be, any loose ends that need to be tied, any bills that need to be paid, anything that needs to be addressed, anything with the house that needs to be done. My work days start on Tuesday morning. And I just know that instead of feeling guilty all the time, that on Mondays I wasn't working, I needed to give myself the grace and acknowledge that Mondays aren't my start of the work week. And so it's allowing ourselves and giving ourselves that grace, but you don't know to allow yourself or give yourself that grace until you have worked through what works and what doesn't for you.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
So,
were you, when you started, were you a shooting star, sensational star earner?
I was shooting star. I did not buy the kit. I was sensational star at level 2. That was cool. I did not work toward the first incentive trip. I didn't attend the first convention. I didn't capture the vision until I hit director.
Yeah.
And I hit director because not because I was striving for it. I hit director because I just knew personally I was holding myself accountable. And I had the mindset of, I'm either going to do this for 6 months and get out, or after that 6 months, that's when I decided I'm going to give this 110%. And at least when it doesn't work, I can't say that I didn't try.
Right.
And when I gave that 110%, I promoted to director. And that's when I realized I wasn't leaving. So after I hit director, so convention had passed, the incentive trip had passed. I decided I was going to leadership because directors and above could go to the leadership trip. I was going, and that was my first Sensi event that I attended, and I haven't missed one since.
So what do you think, or what were your tasks or things that you did in the beginning to help you get to director? Or how did you find those people that you said, hey, come join me? Where were they at, and what did that look like? I know every person is different that joins your team.
Yeah, but you know what? I can remember distinctly sitting on the airplane coming home from my very first convention, which would have been July of 2009. So I joined in February of 2008. In July of 2009, I remember sitting on the plane home from convention, pulled the tray down, got out a piece of paper, because I think even back then I didn't have I think I had a flip phone or a BlackBerry. And so I didn't use my phone to take notes on anything. Like I pulled out a piece of paper and I wrote down every single person I was coming home to present the opportunity to. And I had reasons why. So I remember my best friend from high school. I was like, my reason for wanting her to join was that I wanted to do this with her. And I remember coming home and saying to her, you would be good at this. And I want to do this with you. And she joined. She's not so a Sensi. It wasn't her path, but it checked a box for her for the 4 years she was with it. And it gave us time to spend together. And it gave us yet another common denominator. My neighbor, I had written down, there was no reason why, even though she was my neighbor, that she couldn't sell Sensi, because we run in 2 totally different circles. So even though there was only 3 doors between us and the condo complex, it didn't matter. Saturation is actually not a thing. It's only a thing if you negatively make it a thing. And she joined. And I wrote down the neighbor next to her because he was who bought Sensi from me, not his wife. And I was like, man, you are in nursing school. You need fundraising opportunities. You need to be with Sensi. And he was. He was for 5 years. And he's now a nurse and he's gone off to do his thing. But that checked a box for him for a little bit. And so I remember sitting on the plane and writing down all the people, not just who, but why. And that's how I grew my team, was by conscientiously thinking about who and why they should join.
And then when you presented it, you just presented it to, hey, look, this is why I think you need to do it.
This is why. It's not about me. It's not about me. This is about what's in it for you. This is about what's in it for you. Because nobody is going to do anything fully if it's, people will help you, but they're not going to do 110% if it's for you.
Mhm.
They have to have investment for themselves.
Yeah.
You can't earn an incentive trip by worrying about what's in it for you.
Mhm.
You have to make it about other people.
Yeah.
So that's how I built my team. You in the beginning, you have got to expand your circle. You have to widen your circle. You will eventually tap out your close family and friends,
Mhm.
but they at least better be buying from you.
Mhm.
They at least better be buying from you.
Oh, my cousin just joined in last September, so almost a year. And it took me 8 years
Yeah.
to finally say, like, and it took COVID and her not going back to her job after she had a baby,
Yeah.
and seeing that there are other things. Now I will
Yeah.
say she's part of another company, and that seems to be something that she's a little bit more passionate about, which is fine, but she's still doing Scentsy and she's still enjoying that, and she's still excited, when somebody orders or whatever. So it doesn't mean that it's not something that she's going to be good at. And I need all of those people. I want all of those people. If it makes her happy, and her mom uses it more now than she did when I was selling.
Yeah.
And that makes me happy,
Yeah. Well, and sometimes it takes a little bit. It
Mhm.
takes a little bit to realize that you're where you're supposed to be.
Mhm.
It takes figuring some things out, but um I mean, you've got people on your team, I've got people on my team that they joined for a different reason, and they were kind of, you know, just floating, and then something clicked. Could be 4 years later.
Yeah.
I was just talking to another superstar director who joined solely for when Scentsy launched a quick little Grace Adele side business,
Mhm.
right? And
Yeah.
she joined for that. She had no interest in Scentsy, and now has built a complete business and is a superstar director with Scentsy. Like, everybody's stories and how they get started and how they gain momentum and how they realize the success is a little bit different,
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
know?
I think that that's definitely been so true, just in watching people grow and develop as consultants and as leaders, and what their change is. And even just these people that just join, and they're 1 or 2 months in, and they're like, this is amazing. Like, I've never ever experienced anything like this in my entire life. And I feel like you were saying, like, I feel like I have a place. I feel like people are excited. I send them an email that says, hey, like, you're doing great with your PRV this month, or with your sales. And that, like, lights them up, and I think if you have an opportunity to make someone's life better, or to make them happier, to make them smile, that you should do that. And
Mhm.
we should always be striving for that. And so I think that for me is one of the biggest things that has kept me as a leader, is that knowing that something simple that you can do can make
Yeah.
something so much better for other people. Okay, so I had asked a few people before I started doing this, some questions that if they could ask a superstar director, what would they ask them? And so I'm going to ask you a few of those questions. Some are a
Okay.
little deeper than others.
Okay. Hit me.
Some of them are super simple. So some things that they wanted to know are like, what's your daily schedule? And we've kind of talked about that a little bit. But when you say I'm going to work,
Mhm.
what does that mean for you?
So when I'm gonna work, so first of all, my newest part of my day is getting up earlier and clearing my mind and getting ready for the day. I do my social media posting and scheduling first thing in the morning.
Mhm.
Um, it's when I'm freshest, I'm not distracted by anything else. And I feel better in the day knowing that I'm like, oh God, I got to get to my social media. Because here's the thing, that is something I've been trying to work on above all else, is my presence. I was very present until my daughter was born. And then I actually, this is side, totally sidelining your question for a second, but you're going to have that with me. So I never struggled with anxiety in my whole life until my daughter was about to be born.
Mhm.
And I don't know if it was the subconscious rush of my life is about to change. It will never be the same. I am losing my personal independence and identity because now I'm going to become a mom. Um, I want her to be healthy. I want Autumn to be okay. So I suffered from severe anxiety leading up to her being born. And that, sorry about that. Hold on.
It's okay.
Did I lose you for 1 second?
You're
I had
okay.
a call coming. When that happened, I decided I no longer wanted to be on social media because I don't want to use the word hiding, but I was hiding. I didn't want to share. I didn't want to share my personal life. I didn't want to share. I became very private.
Mhm.
And it took me about 5 years to recover from that. So when my time hop and my memories come up on social media, it's all stuff from like 2012, 2013. And I realized that I needed to pull back and reset, that I was in a place where I felt out of control. I felt anxious. I clammed up. So the reason I'm telling you this is because I have made in the last 6 months a conscientious effort to become present again, because I have things to share and people want to see what's going on. People want to see me.
Could you imagine if you hadn't shared all that stuff from your trip to 80s?
Well, I have to tell you, and you know what's really funny? 80 had me just put that all in highlights. There were 400 stories.
Oh my God.
Or I didn't know you could only highlight 100 things at a time on Instagram until it told me you've hit the limit. 400 stories. But I've done a lot of extensive talking with Jill McCarthy, who to me is, Jill.
I don't know her personally, but I know who.
But okay. So put her on your list of people to interview because she is incredible.
Okay.
Jill has inspired me more than she'll ever realize. Jill is a social media guru. She's a Scentsy Superstar director. And Jill has inspired me, and she has pushed me and coached me and complimented me, and she has really helped me get back out there. And so my trip to the farm a month ago, or however, a couple of weeks ago, I really used that as a springboard and was like, you know what? I used to think that I didn't have anything worthy of sharing, that I was boring, that there wasn't, my day is just my day. And I'm getting back to your question about what my day looks like. But,
yep, you're good.
But I realized people want to know what I'm eating. People want to know what I'm drinking. People want to know what I'm doing. People want to know what I'm shopping for. And there is a community of people out there that genuinely care about what's going on. And my life has been enriched, and I have developed new relationships with people because we've started having conversations. I've had somebody join my Scentsy team because we bonded over Disney stuff. I mean, there is a world of opportunity out there that I feel like I was missing. But it took me making those growth steps and taking time to recognize what was wrong, recognize my anxiety, treat my anxiety, get my feet wet again. And so when it comes to my workday, social media has now become a very important part of it. So if I can get up in the morning and conquer some social media for the morning, I'm better throughout the day because that's not weighing on my mind. So that's my full circle, getting back to that. So starting to get up earlier and set that habit has helped my workday immensely. I know some people get up early and work out. Some people get up early and they read. Some people get up and whatever that is for you, you deserve that self-care time for yourself. And so I get up and I have my cup of perk or 3, and I do my social media and I set my intention for the day. So like today, my girls are on, we do a virtual cubicle every Friday where we just sit and we all work on whatever it is we need to work on, but we're together. We call it virtual cubicle because if we were in an office, we'd be doing that same thing, except there'd be dividers probably.
I love that.
Yeah. So they're sitting in there on my computer. They're working, waiting for me. We sit and like today, I'm going to print my Scent and Warmer of the Month postcards, get the scratch and sniff sticker on those and get those mailed out to my last 72 orders. Why 72 people? Because the scratch and sniff stickers come in a pack of 72.
Mm-hmm.
So I am mailing that out to my last 72 people that order. And every month it's the last 72 people that order. So I'm going to get that done today. I want to schedule a couple posts getting me ready for next week for my team. I'm taking a look at the conference calls that I have coming up and preparing for some of those. I've got a huge event coming up in a week and some days. And so I'm preparing for that. It's a mixture. Every day's a little bit different. It's a mixture of what does my team need today? What does my customers need today? And what do I personally need to accomplish? But setting my intention in the morning and making my list of things I want to accomplish for the day, it's a heck of a lot more time effective, when I know what I'm working toward. Every day is a little bit different, but I am working my business every single day, at least something, even if it's just sending text messages through Amy, even if it's reaching out to a couple customers, placing their orders. Just this morning, I had a customer email me and say, I'm having trouble processing a payment on your website. Can you help me place this order? So I emailed her back and said, absolutely, call me. So she called and I said, all right, tell me what are you trying to order? Let me go in. And so I said, better yet, because her answer was, well, it's kind of a lot. So I said, better yet, take a picture of your cart, screenshot it, text it to me. So she did. It was over $100 worth of Scentsy. And I said, here's the deal. I have an order that's going in and I have a kit. I have a host, an exclusive kit that I can offer you because let me go back and look at your order history. You have ordered from me at least 3 different times. Why are you not getting the discount for yourself? Mm-hmm. There's a 20% discount you are leaving on the table by ordering through me, and you're ordering frequently enough. And she said, well, I actually used to be a consultant. I was like, what? Did you know you can reinstate for free? She was like, no, I had no idea. I was like, you can reinstate, you can place these orders for yourself. I was like, tell me what, and so that conversation opened because she couldn't process a payment on my workstation or on my website.
Yeah.
And she is now reinstating on my team and is going to place orders for herself and is excited. Mm-hmm. Those are the kinds of things that when we are in a work mindset, we are able to make happen on the fly.
Yeah.
But you can't make things like that happen when you only work your business for 5 minutes a month.
Yeah, because
because you're not thinking about it. A lot of people would have just taken that order and gone on with the day. Mm-hmm. You have to take an extra 2 seconds to figure out what's in it for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's how I work my business on a daily basis. I'm just ready.
Yeah. I think that's awesome. I'm like thinking in my head of all the things that all the conversations that I should have had or should have. Yeah, I love that. So it's different for everyone, but I think that people need to see that and they need to know too, at our level, our work is going to look different than somebody who's a certified consultant. Obviously they still need to be working on things like that, but it's a little bit different because they don't have a team. They don't have people that they're working with. So go ahead.
But I want to say, what's great is even at our level, we need to work our business like a certified consultant.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I say that all the time. We are always just one consultant away from making lead. Mm-hmm. We always need one person at a time. We are always working our business. We need sales and we need to grow our teams. Even at our level, we are working our business like a certified consultant. Sure. So it's all a level playing field.
I think in the last few months, I've gone back to I really have got to stop focusing so much on all these things that I'm doing.
Yeah.
And start focusing on things that are going to produce more things. And, I feel like I do a lot of small little tasks and, we call them income producing tasks too, but that that I need to show my certified and my, consultants, my lead consultants, what I'm doing that works towards what they want to get to too, because I have to do that too.
Yeah.
Even this morning, I'm going through and looking at numbers and I'm going, okay, what do I need to do to get to this point? And who do I need to talk to? And where do I need to go? And all the tasks that need to be done in order for me to get there too. And, sometimes it's just a matter of working yourself into another 1,000 TWV. And that's basically, like you said, getting to lead consultant,
Yeah.
how am I going to get to lead consultant in the next month,
Yeah.
and, or in the next 5 days, really. And so it
Yeah.
looks differently for us because we've learned how to do it. And so, but we have to do the same thing. We just
Yep.
know a little bit more about what we're doing. Some days, not every day. Not every day do I really know, but
Wow.
awesome. So one of the next questions that's on the list is how you do thank you mail or cent of the month mail. And you just kind of said that you make a postcard every month and you send it to your last 72 customers. Do you do any kind of thank you mail, or do you just send like something in particular?
So I do. I send a little thank you pack that and I would show you, but that means I got to walk to my crazy super mess of an office. But
you can't even see the other half of mine.
Oh, it's a good thing that it's up at eye level. Here is my thank you pack. So my thank you pack includes a catalog, scratch and sniff stickers, samples of the laundry products, because that's the one thing my customers aren't. I have customers that are using it, but most of them aren't. And so I want to get them hooked on that because I want them hooked on it. So I do laundry samples and I do a counter clean sample. I don't, and then there's a card in there that is to my VIP page. So I have, can I flip this? In here, this is everything that I would include for my customers. So I have my VIP card, join my VIP page. Did you know that the magic wax is black raspberry vanilla? So if your dish looks like that and you melt black raspberry vanilla, it'll clean out. So I include this, and that's a code to my.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, magic wax.
Pretty amazing.
So I include that. I have a thank you card, and it just says, when I think of Scentsy, when you think Scentsy, I want you to think of me. I want you to think there is no one else I would rather do business with. Because of loyal customers like you, I get to wake up every morning and do something I truly love. So I put that goes in there. I do have these ready to go so that I can write them a quick little note on the back. Thank you for your order. Christina Stainbrook, the fabulous, she designed those. And then I have a card for Scentsy Club that just tells them what it is. And this is something new I've started. Everybody that orders from me, I create them a link for a party, and I give them the link and tell them when it's available or when it's active till. And I want them to accumulate any kind of orders. So it gives me a reason, and no matter what, it gives me a reason to contact them and say, hey, just wanted to remind you, you have this link that you can accumulate rewards on if you share the link with your friends. If they get at least one order, I can contact them and say, hey, Debbie placed a $50 order and you're only 150 away from you getting product for free and half price. Send the link out. So every single order, I create a link for them, and it's just a party on my website. And so that goes in each one. And then for my team, since that's in here too, for my team, I include this in every piece of Happy Mail that I send. And it just says, hi, I'm Melissa. I'm your Scentsy Superstar Director, and I'm so happy we get to Scentsy together. Keep shining. Here's the links to our pages. We have a conference call every Tuesday night, and here's some fun facts about me. And that's what I include, because here's the deal. We're trying to work smarter, not harder, right? And I found that if I was spending a ton of time writing these things out every time, or creating or needing to print, I wasn't using my time effectively. So I needed to make a list of here's the most important things that I need for my business that I want to share with my customers and share with my team. Mm-hmm. And I need to have them ready to go. And I need them not all over my office. I need them in one place. Mm-hmm. So when I'm packing an order, or I'm sending out happy mail, or I'm communicating with my team, I need everything right here. I cannot spend time running around my office and trying to remember what I put in things. Mm-hmm. And so, and sometimes it just takes seeing how somebody does something for it to spark mm-hmm. the energy and the ideas, in ourselves. And so that's an accumulation of seeing what other people have done and figuring out what works for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. I love it. I've been doing a sort of that, but not that extensive. And so that's definitely awesome. So you include that in all of your mail. That's amazing. Yep. I love the link idea. Because it encourages them to have a party without encouraging them to have a party. Yeah, I love that. Okay, just a few more questions.
Yeah.
And these are a little bit bigger. But what do you feel like was one of the biggest challenges that you had, like your biggest moment where you were like, oh, this is really hard? And how did you overcome that?
I mean, don't misunderstand my pause. Like there hasn't been anything that's been hard.
Yeah.
The freshest was, we are a Disney family. We're obsessed with going to Disney. Our house is not wallpapered in Disney. We're not that obsessed, but we're obsessed with going to Disney, and it's very important to Autumn and I that we take our kids as much as we can. And Scentsy has afforded us that opportunity. This past incentive trip, this last time, I didn't earn it, and it was to Disney, and I have never felt like such a failure in my whole entire life. Because if there's one thing I still in my heart of hearts would never do is let my kids down. And I feel like I let my kids and my family down by not earning that trip. So there's two ways to handle that. It can discourage you and continue to bring you down, mm-hmm. or it fuels you to never feel that way again, mm-hmm. if you can control it. Mm-hmm. And I'm in control of it for the most part. Mm-hmm. And so since seeing my friends go to Disney with their families, since wallowing in it for a minute, mm-hmm. I used it as fuel to propel me. I won't have that happen again. And how can I can't want for my teams more than what I want for myself. Mm-hmm. And so I feel better than ever working my business. I feel better than ever knowing that I need to do the things that I need to do to make things happen. The next trip isn't a family trip. The next incentive trip, it doesn't include my kids, but it's what I need to do because it's what I need to do, and that's hard because there's going to be times things don't work. Things don't work out. There's going to be times where you fall short. There's going to be times where you don't know what else you need to do to go on. But I think overcoming that is part of the growth process, mm-hmm. Yeah. And that was hard. And people are surprised to hear me say I didn't earn a trip. Mm-hmm. We all assume things about other people, and, we assume somebody doesn't want to join because they don't need money. Mm-hmm. We assume that a customer won't spend $85 on a warmer because it's too expensive. Mm-hmm. We assume that because you're a superstar director, you earn every single trip and you make $1 million. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Assumptions are silly.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely have customers and friends who will say, like, oh, when's your next trip? And sometimes I have to say, well, I didn't earn that one, but I'm going to Idaho in a couple of weeks, and that's still, to me, that's still very important. And it's still me traveling, and it's still me being able to do things I wasn't doing before. And the reason that I left my job, well, I left for many reasons, but the main reason I left was because I felt so guilty because I went to Nashville for a reunion and it was the beginning of the school year and I worked at a school. I felt so bad and my boss made me feel so bad that I took that time off to go. We didn't have kids. It was just busy, it was just like busy work, whatever.
Yeah.
And I thought, I came home and I said to my husband, like, I don't want to feel this way anymore. I don't want to be working my butt off for someone else, not feeling like I can't do what I want to do, having to ask somebody permission to do something that is really important to me. And basically, I feel like I'm selling myself short. I know that if I have the time and the energy to put into my business that's thriving, I'm going to make it better and I'm going to make enough money that's not going to matter anymore, and that's something that I'm very thankful that he supported me in, because had I not had him, at that moment, I wouldn't have been able to make it. But it really pushed me to being better. And now I can't even imagine going back into a place where I have to ask permission for something. And that works great for other people. And sometimes other people need that. They want that structure, they want that stability. But for me, and now having a child, it's like unfathomable to me that I gave so much control to one person.
Well, and here's the thing, let's use this to speak to consultants that have unsupportive spouses. Mm-hmm. Because unlike you and I, who have had support, mm-hmm. we have a lot of team members that don't have the support of their family. Sure. And the way that I talk to them or talk them through it is, it's very important when you have unsupportive family members that you make it known what Scentsy is able to do for you. So if you use your commission check to buy pizza for your family on Friday night, you make it known that because of Scentsy, you have pizza tonight. Mm-hmm. Because of Scentsy, mom was able to do this today. Mm-hmm. Because of Scentsy, I'm taking you on an all expense paid trip. Yeah. And I think that a lot of your conversations, when you're in an unsupportive situation, your conversations need to begin with because of Scentsy. Because of Scentsy, I feel whole again. Mm-hmm. Because of Scentsy, I got my nails done. Because of Scentsy, I'm giving you half the money for the mortgage this month. Mm-hmm. Because of Scentsy, I want you to know that I feel like a contributing member of this household. Mm-hmm. And I think it's important that we not just tell, but we show. Mm-hmm. I think that's. And when mom's happier, everybody's happy. Yep. That is so powerful. And we see it on social media, and I think that, that perspective is really good to say, you know what, like, it's true. And I tell my son all the time when he says, no, mommy, don't work. Yeah. And I say, okay, you want those toys? Mommy's got to work. You want that thing? Yeah. Mommy and daddy got to work. That's how we do it. Yeah. I lost your face. There you go. Yeah, I'm here. Your phone blowing up. Well, no, I want to take a picture and post us. Oh, okay. Love it. Okay, go on. So that'll be a really good shot too. That's pretty much what I have. And I think you said, like I said, like you said a lot of the things that I didn't even really need to ask. But my main goal with these interviews is there are people out there who are doubting not just us, but all MLMs. And we all know that there are opportunities for people to hear that perspective. Yeah. And I want there to be opportunities to hear our perspective.
not just a training video on YouTube, not just a video talking about a trip or whatever. I want it to be personal experiences that consultants have had. And I'm doing superstar consult or superstar directors right now because they've made it all the way through and they've had those good positive experiences. Have we all had moments that were challenging and frustrating? Yeah, just like anybody else in any role or position. But that, like you said, that it's not just about us sitting at the top waiting for our check to roll in. It doesn't have anything to do with that. I wish, not really, because I don't want it to be, illegal. But I don't ever just sit around and not do anything. But because of Cincy, and I'll tag the income disclosure in the comments, in the description, but because of Cincy, I get to be my own boss. I get to decide that I can go to my best friend's grandmother's funeral and be there all day long without worrying that I'm using a day of vacation time, or without feeling like if my boss finds out that I'm not really sick and I'm at my friend's grandmother's funeral, that I'm going to get fired. But because of Cincy and because of the freedom that I have, I get to XYZ,
100%.
I can't just say it myself. I need other people to share in that experience, and so that's why I'm just super passionate about this. I feel like, God told me to do this, and it does. I'm getting a little emotional, but
You're cute.
I just love it, and I haven't done interviews for a while because life has been crazy and busy, and now that Brantley's in school, I can take time, to do that and to focus on that.
You have inspired me, because now I want to do this. Like, you've inspired me. I love people, and I love hearing where people come from and where their mindset is and what drives them. And so now you have my wheels spinning. I mean, I'm honored beyond words that you chose me.
Yeah.
And that now to inspire, you must be inspired, and you have inspired me.
Wow, that's sweet.
And we're better together, aren't we? We are better together.
That's right. That is so right. Well, thank you so much. I know that so many people are going to gain so much knowledge and inspiration from you. And I really appreciate it. And I'll be messaging Jill today and saying, hey, Melissa said that you have to do this. So thank you so much. And until next time, guys.
Yeah, thanks for having me.